For 2025, Lincoln's ultra stylish 3-row SUV has just come out with a new redesign, a nice facelift. It looks very, very good. Today we're going to do a deep dive into the 2025 Lincoln Aviator. We're going to check out the exterior, hop inside, and we're going to take it for a drive. Hello everybody and welcome. My name is Austin and this is Apple Autos. If you'd be willing to help support this channel, please hit like, hit subscribe to help me continue bringing you great automotive content. Now let's get into the Aviator. For those that are curious, before we start talking about the new redesign on the exterior, this is a 2025 Lincoln Aviator Reserve 2 finished in Whisper Blue with an MSRP of $83,290. If you're interested in purchasing this Aviator or any new Aviator, please be sure to check out the link down in the description below to Apple Lincoln Apple Valley and their brand new facility here in Apple Valley, Minnesota. Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about the redesign on the front end of this Aviator. I must admit myself, I'm a huge fan of the redesign. The older design Aviator was starting to become a little bit dated looking in my personal opinion, and this just really modernized it with the way that they expanded the grille a little bit. They now brought that LED running light inside of the grille here, and I absolutely love the design that they covered the front end of this grille in. This kind of like silver metallic finished Lincoln logos with the illuminated Lincoln logo in the center. Have all of this sort of black chrome accents around the front end. It is a great looking front end. It's very stunning, it's eye-catching, and the Aviator has always, in my opinion, been amazing with their body lines. Now you can see a lot of those body lines carrying off with the smooth front fascia, the kind of hump or the wave in the grille, and then the curve around the sides of the front end make it look extremely gorgeous. It is a fantastic looking car, and I'm a massive fan of this Whisper Blue metallic. It is a great looking color. As we move down low, none of this is actually functional here on the side, but as we move into the center, we have some functioning or opening vents behind here that'll open up for our intercoolers for the turbos there. Down here we have our sensor for like our lane keep assist or blue cruise, adaptive cruise control, stuff like that. We have our sensor down below on the bottom there. They did a nice job of integrating that into the grille. It's not super noticeable. From this section where the headlight is over is not functional, but from here to here is functional for the radiator. I'm also not sure why Lincoln did this design here. This could easily be like a brake cooling duct, but it's just, you know, gloss black plastic. So a little bit disappointed they didn't take that functionality into maybe increasing performance a little bit with that design there, but it does give it a really good look. I'm a huge fan of the way that you just saw the running lights that they illuminate as you walk up to it with the key in your pocket. I think that is very cool. Lincoln did a great job with the redesign on the front end. I give it 2 thumbs up. It looks great. It added another level of class to this model line, which I believe that it needed. Let's go ahead and move our way onto the side here where we can talk about the body design there. The side profile of the Lincoln Aviator still has that plane-like design that the previous one did, the swoop of a plane wing. It is gorgeous. However, it has not changed much over last year. If you were to look on this vehicle directly from the side, the only things that are gonna identify the 25 from the 24 is if you notice the side of this headlight housing here, as well as the wheel and color options that are from the factory. There is nothing that they did to really make it stick out over the previous model. I still think it looks fantastic. However, I think the Aviator is starting to get a little bit dated, so a full-on redesign I don't think would have been a bad idea. But that's not to go without saying that this does not look good. This technically really doesn't look dated. I still think it's a great looking car. I'm a big fan of these wheels that are offered on the Reserve 2, and this is just another look at that cool color, that Whisper Blue that I am honestly in love with. I also do like this thick chrome strip that runs across the bottom. I like how thick it is, like about a 1 inch thick. I think it looks really cool. It kind of makes a statement as you walk up to it. It's got a really nice look to it. And we have about a 1/2 inch chrome strip along the top that meet together on the front end there. And I do like the design on that. However, it is going to be a little bit of a challenge to keep clean. Around the back of the 2025 Aviator, you're not going to notice any differences from the outgoing. I do really like the way that it looks, however. This long taillight across the entire rear definitely sticks out at night, and it's got a great look to it. However, with it becoming so popular across a lot of other manufacturers, I'd like to see them change it up just a hair now that we're going into a new model year. Just like they did with the front end, I think a minor rework on the back would not have been a bad idea. I love the quad exhausts, and I love the chrome along the bottom again. The third brake light looks great, the way it's integrated into this like top overhang spoiler with the wiper hidden behind it. Very clean looking rear end on the back of the 25 Aviator here, but it's something that we are already quite familiar with here on the back. Let's go ahead and pop the hood and see if there's anything different there. Under the hood is the familiar 3-liter twin turbo EcoBoost that produces 400 horsepower. It can tow 5,600 pounds, and it has the 10-speed transmission. Gets mid 20 mile per gallon range, or low 20 mile per gallon range, I should say. It's a good motor. It suits the car. A little bit disappointed that we don't have any hybrid options going into 2025. A plug-in hybrid or just a hybrid assist would have been, I think, a great feature to go along with this 3-liter. This is the same 3-liter we can find in vehicles such as the Bronco Raptor or the Ranger Raptor. It's a great proven motor. I just wish it got a little bit better fuel economy, especially with that hybrid Nautilus that we have now. Seeing something like that trickle into the larger Aviator, I think would have been a good move by the brand. Just like the outgoing model year, 5.6 seconds is what you can expect to hit 60 in, which is a pretty healthy number. And just like the previous model year, it is a rear biased platform. You can actually still get an Aviator in rear wheel drive or all wheel drive, of course. So the rear wheel drive bias platform definitely makes the Aviator kind of a fun, sporty handling car. Not only that, but it also makes it have a more luxurious ride as it goes down the road. With all of that set aside, let's go ahead and hop behind the wheel of this $83,000 luxurious 3-row SUV and see what it has to offer on the interior. Making my way into the driver's seat of the Lincoln Aviator in the 2025 model year is where we notice the largest difference over the outgoing other than that front end. We have new screens. We have a large digital cluster right in front of us here, and we also have a different designed screen on our dash, which unfortunately looks like they kind of just tacked it on there and put this plastic casing around the back side of it. I'm not the biggest fan of that. However, it's not all about fashion. It does come down to function, and this functions significantly better than the outgoing sync system that was in the old gen Aviators. This is a huge step up. It is powered by Google. Everything is snappy. Everything is so unbelievably fast. There's so much great functionality that we did not have in the sync system from the previous model year. It makes this car feel so much more modern, and it was a much needed upgrade inside of this here Aviator. We originally saw this that came out on the Nautilus. It was just released that it's going to be coming out on the new Navigator, and this is so cool to see here on the Aviator. Along with that tech, we also had Blue Cruise added to the Aviator, which gives this the highway self-driving experience that you can feature on a variety of different Ford and Lincoln products. It's a great system. It's been rated one of the best self-driving systems, and it's worked on many highways, hundreds, if not thousands of highways across the United States of America. It is a great, great hands-free driving system, and it's so cool that we have that paired to this new Google system. It makes this Lincoln feel significantly more modern. Other than these two new screens and Blue Cruise, however, the remainder of the interior looks quite familiar than the outgoing. All of it looks extremely similar. It's all buttoned up quite the same, which is not a bad thing. It's a great interior inside of here. The seats in this Reserve 2 are extremely comfortable, and it can only go up from here as we go to the Black Label, where we get those even higher quality leather seats. As we move our way down a little bit, the seats do lose some quality to what I'm currently sitting in, but no matter what trim you get, you're gonna be happy when it comes to comfort inside of the Aviator. I'm also quite happy to see inside of this Reserve 2 is all the leather that is everywhere, this matching like off gray material. I love the buttons and tactile features inside of this Aviator. I think it's all well done. One of the things I'm not the biggest fan of inside of this Aviator is the fact fact that we have all of our climate controls are done through the screen. We don't have physical tactile buttons for our climate controls, but that's okay. With this fast responding Google screen, it still works great. I like the spot for the wireless charger. It definitely puts your phone out of the way with still being able to like kind of read notifications. However, it's not really needed with everything integrating so nicely through that Google display. The heads-up display is still fantastic. It's huge, it's easy to see, it's crystal clear, and I love how visible it is right in front of you. The heads-up display is one of my favorite parts about this particular Aviator. Other than those features there, that's kind of the big jump going to the 2025 is the tech. If the tech is not something that you're necessarily going to be interested in, a certified pre-owned one that's already had some depreciation might be a better suit for you. However, if the tech is a must-have and the new front end is a must-have, that's ultimately what you are getting with the newly redesigned 2025 Aviator. Hopping inside of the back seat here. Now, one of the things I like up front and in back of the Aviator is the speaker grills on the door sill. They make it just look absolutely beautiful, very cool. They put a lot of design, a lot of effort into those, and I like them quite a bit. The second row of the Aviator is extremely comfortable, also high-end leather, just like the front end. We lose a hair of the plushness that we get up front, but it's still quite good. Easily could last forever back here. We have the availability to move our seat backs a little bit. We can recline. In this particular model, we have the panoramic sunroof. It just makes it look so unbelievably good. We have this small display where we can control the rear climate back here. As we hop into the third row, I personally am not going to do that right now on camera. It is actually usable at being 5'11" like myself. It's nothing that I would do for a long period of time by any means. We do greatly increase our trunk storage when we fold those seats down. However, it's great if you have kids. That is an entirely usable third row. It's a pretty roomy SUV in here. With all of that aside, let's go ahead and get behind the wheel of this thing and take it for a drive. My cooled seat on high and my massage seat on. I could not be happier behind the wheel of this 25 Aviator. I'm excited to set off and hit the road behind the wheel of this thing. It is so comfortable, these Lincolns. Yes, I understand they might be dated in some way or another, but there is no denying the fact that every time I get in one, I am truly amazed and astonished by its comfort going down the road. It's quite impressive. And this one, with the air suspension and the air ride, the way that it goes over bumps and goes into corners is very impressive. The body is just so airy and comfortable. It's just a great riding SUV. Let's go ahead and hit the road and see what it's like out in public. The panoramic moonroof in the model that we are driving today truly does let a lot of light into the interior, making it a very nice, bright space. It feels quite nice in here. I really like the way that it feels. Very open, very bright. This light interior also contributes to that, of course. As we go around this corner here, let's just pay attention to how the body reacts. It stays quite flat while still retaining a very comfortable ride. Not too much body roll around a corner at normal speed. Let's go ahead and take one at a little bit more speed and see how it handles. I overall do love the animations that the Lincoln makes. It makes it feel quite luxurious. Before we take some turns, let's go ahead and hit the bumpiest road in this city and see how the Lincoln reacts. It feels quite nice. It is a little bit more bumpy than I would like. It takes them quite nice. However, I've been in cars that do take them better, I'm not gonna lie. But it's still comfortable. It stays stable throughout those. Let's go ahead and get on it here and see what the Lincoln feels like for get up and go. It took a second for the Lincoln to hunt for gears, but once it did, it definitely gets down in boogies. It's not slow. It's got plenty of speed to get up to highway speeds and merge and switch lanes through traffic. It feels peppy, but it definitely doesn't feel fast. I do like on the heads-up display here, you can see that it indicates that we are getting out of the lane. I think that's pretty cool. I popped it into sport just one more time. It does feel quite a bit peppier when we have it in sport. The steering is more responsive. We have more throttle response. All of it feels great. Definitely a much better feeling car when it comes to a performance perspective in sport mode. It was gear hunting quite a bit in normal mode, but now it seems to know where the right one is at all times. I won't be able to pick it up on this particular camera, but the wastegate likes to make itself known when you have it in sport mode. Some loud psh. that we get from the turbos on the Aviator here. Definitely a fun sound that adds to the driving experience and overall feel. I love the chimes that Lincoln uses. It just feels, you know, kind of elegant. The violin sways and the playing of instruments, it makes it feel very high-end, very luxurious. The sounds that they decide to use for all of the chimes inside of the Lincoln products, which I find to be quite pleasing myself. As I did push the Lincoln through some corners but did not have it on camera, that way I personally could have two hands on the wheel while I was enjoying the responsiveness of this Aviator, I found that it starts to gain quite a bit more body roll as you seem to push it hard through some corners. However, overall, it is quite a great riding car. It's definitely not performance oriented, of course, but it is a great cruiser. It is extremely comfortable, and I think anyone who buys it to get around town will not be disappointed. Lincoln did a great job at the redesign on the 2025 Aviator, but the question is, was it enough? Personally, I'm not sure that it was. With the refreshed front end and the new screen, the Aviator, I feel, was in need of a more dramatic refresh than it got. I think that the improvements were needed. I think that they are very beneficial. And to somebody looking at a new Aviator that already was in the market for an Aviator, this just became a whole lot more appealing in my personal opinion. However, when it comes down to it, I think the Aviator was ready for a redesign like the Nautilus got, like the Navigator got, and I'm curious now that we got this just quick facelift, how long this is going to last until we get a full-on redesign, considering all the other models appear to be going that route. I am a big fan of it, however, that's not dismissing how good of a car this Aviator is. It is quite gorgeous on the inside and out. I think the revised front end just made it even that more beautiful. Those screens made the technology bump up to the par that it needed to be at. So I do think this is a great SUV. It is extremely comfortable. It's a great car if this is what you were looking for. But if you were looking for the newest thing when it comes to tech, you might want to wait for the next redesign or look at some other offerings from the manufacturer. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video today here on Apple Autos. I greatly appreciate your support. Please take the time to hit like and hit subscribe. And again, if you're interested in purchasing this Aviator, please be sure to check out the link down in the description below. Have a great rest of your day.